Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome back to another Magic the Gathering online league. We're back with Basking Broodscale on the draw for game one. This is a bit of a different version. We've shelved Tezzeret and are now playing. I don't play that Ancient Stirrings. At the same time, I kind of want to play my Temple. I'll play the Ancient Stirrings. This is going to be the Cauldron version. Once again, playing Delighted Half Lane. Trying to see how this fares. We'll go for Flesh Rake here. Alright, looks like we're going to go Flesh Rake into Flesh Rake. Right now we're just trying to find a Broodscale. A Broodscale will get us a win. There's District. Could be E-Ramp. Keeps it on top. Unsure what we're playing against. We'll pass. Scouting Tarn. Fetch 18. Scouting Tarn's a bit unusual in E-Ramp, so I don't think it's that. Maybe Ruby Storm? Yup. They have the turn too. They might be going for it. Oh shit. You have 2 cards left in hand. They have to be impulse draws, right? Impulse draw number 1. I think this is pretty aggressive, right? Because they whiff on the impulse draw, then what? They have another impulse draw on a medallion. They can't play the medallion this turn, but they can play the impulse draw. I need them to brick. They do brick. Last card in hand's another impulse draw. Jesus. They're short on the Row. Alright, well that worked out for me. They need to plus Row here, yeah. Now would be a time for me to draw into a Pithy Needle, I suppose. Either that or Vexing Bauble. Haywire Might unfortunately doesn't cut it, but actually might be relevant. I'll play an Urza Saga. Cast a Haywire Might. Not the turn I wanted, but the turn I'll take. We'll hold, so that way if they play a Ruby Medallion, we can exile it. They should only be able to play 1. Land. Scouting Tarn. Fetch. Surveil. Exile the top 8. Rituals? I think they may have hit an impulse. Okay, but now they don't have any mana reducers, is the thing. They do have multiple rituals. Manamorphose. Red, draw a card. Ritual. Okay. I don't see a Pith yet. Ritual. Up to 8. I mean, I guess they could Medallion last, then Wish. Go for Pith. Yeah. I mean, I think they still have it, unfortunately. There's the Impulse Draw. There's Grape Shot. How does Rel read again? You may cast instants or sorceries. There's Medallion. Now you cast Wish. I'll exile Medallion now and pass. Medallion down. They still have access to Wish, Grape Shot, Awakening. I mean, if they just Wish here for 2 for Piff, I think they win, right? Ruby Storm. I'm gonna say probably lost for game 1, unfortunately. Yep, there's the Piff. They didn't wish for it either. They must have had it in hand. Damn. Alright. Yeah, that'll lock it up. I'll make them go through the process. Rends resolve, Rends resolve. Reckless Impulse. Grape Shot. I guess they can Grape Shot then Piff, yeah. Okay. That is fair. That's a line that I feel like a lot of people do forget about, that you can Grape Shot, Piff, then Grape Shot. But I figured that one out. So, Wee's dead. We'll just make sure that they realize. Or they truly see the line before we concede. But I'm imagining that they do. They wouldn't just Grape Shot just because. Then again, they miscounted their Ral triggers. They thought the Storm was for Ral, but included Ral. So they messed up there. At least that's what I'm assuming. I guess they could have just wanted to flip Ral at that point since they didn't have anything left. Alright, and then Piff, and then Grape Shot. Wait, why Wish when you have a Piff in yard? I guess you grab a Grape Shot? I mean, either one works. Just a little confused as to why that specific line. Alright, and we's are dead. Alright, let's go to sideboard for game 2. So what do we want here? We can cut the Gemstone, cut Rumble, cut Flash. Soul Cauldron's semi-relevant. Dismember's good. Whale is okay. Damn Sphere, Flute, Cage, not Wayscape, not you. And then Whale. We could cut Halfling here. Pithneal, Might, Bauble, Soul Guide are all relevant. Cutting 2. I can't really cut 2 more, I don't think. Is Agatha Soul Cauldron worth it here? Cutting out 1 card at a time? Probably not. Alright, let's run it back like this. A lot of cards you're bringing in there, but I think it's worth it. I guess we are able to trim Emrakul as the last card when we bring the Gemstone back in, yeah. Because we're not as reliant on 7 mana value spells like the lab version is. Yeah, after some initial testing and looking at the data, decided Tezzeret was not the right choice. So now we're comparing the Cauldron version to the lab version. Right now, the lab version's performing really well, so that's promising. On the play for game 2, there's Cage, there's Saga. An early Saga seems promising here. Unless they go for a turn 2 again, in which case then doesn't really matter, does it? I think we go Saga, Cage. Well, they can't really win on one, so I guess we can go Saga Springleaf, which then allows me to go Karplusin Ballista into Cage. And that seems reasonable. So, Saga. Drum, pass. And pass. Shadow Skull smashing, tapped, and passing, draw. Trigger. Temple or Grove? We'll play the Temple here. Cast Ballista X1. And Cage and pass. So now their graveyard's on lock. Unfortunately, they do bring in Brotherhood Ends, so it's possible that we just get swept out. Did opponent miss their land drop? It looks like it. In that case, I'm gonna float, make a construct. And what do we want here? We could go Might for whatchamacallit, for Ruby Medallion. We could go Pithy Needle for Ral. We could go Bauble, which also hits Ral pretty well. Let's hedge my bets with a Haywire Might, I think. Good job, me. So I picked Haywire Might. Funny interaction of Haywire Might, specifically with Grafdigger's Cage. It's a creature, and because it's a creature, it cannot come into the battlefield from the library. Cool. So yeah, should have went either Vexing Bauble or Needle. That's as a fun interaction that I truly did forget about. I'll be real. That I completely just overlooked. Has not come up before for me. So, lessons learned. Better to learn them now than later, I suppose. Alright, Scouting Tarns, Stomping Grounds. So I guess what would we have picked? I guess Ral? Needle for Ral? Probably. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 short Emrakul. Draw. Stirrings. Let's deal 1 damage to me. Stirrings. There's Broodscale, there's Fleshrake, there's Bauble. There's also Boseiju. And Bauble stops Ral's ult. I'm gonna go Bauble here. Cast Bauble. And go to combat. Down to 13. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3 short of Emrakul. Desperate Ritual. And there's the Medallion. Ritual. Ren's Resolve. Another Ritual. Unless they get to a Brotherhood End, they can't do too much here. Ritual triggering Artist Talent. Nature's Claim to Yard. Interesting. Three, do you find the Brothers at End? Land return. Again, Grafdiggers is stopping Piff. Vexing Bubble's stopping Row. Doesn't stop Row from flipping, but does stop the ult. Grape Shot. Well, that is quite rude. Though, wait, if I'm not mistaken, by me blanking the original, doesn't the trigger fall off? No, I was mistaken. Okay. Why do I feel like that happened at some point? So they're gonna ping down the construct. They have one card in hand. Yep. We'll say yield to all at this point. Yield to all? Not a thing I can do. I guess I can't yield to all the storm triggers. That's kind of obnoxious. Okay. Artist talent. And 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for short. 'Tis a Flesh Raker. And we'll pass. Now 3 short on Emrakul, I believe. Skelling Tarn fetch. Surveil. Still perplexed that they pitched the Nature's Claim. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 3 short. Ren's Resolve. Route Trigger. The route triggers are actually kind of dangerous with this Flesh Rake here. Another Ren's Resolve and a Ritual. They haven't been pitching the artist talent, have they? Ritual. Why Ritual here when you can first Ren's Resolve unless you're pitching the card in hand? So they like whatever they have in hand. Ren's Resolve. But now they're banking on flipping the Row? Weird. Bricks on the Ren's Resolve. So what's this last card you have in hand? Plays a land from exile, okay. I guess you could level up the artist talent. What did Foothills fetch? Surveil? Surveil. Okay. Keeps it on top. Again, one card in hand. What is this last card? Green, Nature's Claim? Nature's Claim, target cage. That's fine. That's only really relevant if you have a Piff, which right now you don't. Unless that's on top of your deck, I suppose. Okay, command, Soul Guide Lantern would be good. Draw. That's a forest. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too short. No point in attacking. We'll pass. What's this last card you drew? If it's a Piff, I'm in trouble. Land. Wish. May as well have been, because that will get them the Piff. And that probably will be the game. Ralph, wait, why Ralph flipped now? I'm confused. Huh? I mean, you had the mana for Piff into Ritual, right? Okay. And I'll pass in full at this point. I'm just a bit confused. Because I guess now you can Nature's Claim. Oh, I guess you wanted the green source for the Nature's Claim? But again, that's not really relevant if the Ral isn't ulting. I guess maybe there might be a future Ral that ults. Ritual. Okay. And then Impulse Draw. Why Ritual again? Wouldn't it make more sense to first Impulse Draw? Ritual. Am I crazy? Maybe someone who plays Storm can correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't it make more sense to Impulse Draw there? That way maybe get into a Manamorphose, play the Manamorphose, draw a card, then you have Artist Talents cycling through more cards, so you see more action? Am I crazy for thinking this? And there's Bloodstained Mire, Glimpse, another Ren's Resolve. So we have Glimpse. Okay, there's the Manamorphose and Ren's Resolve. Okay. So now you can Manamorphose, Wish. Wish for what? Oh, I guess now you can Grape Shot. Oh, I see. So now you Grape Shot, Piff, Grape Shot? Or not? Ren's Resolve. Okay. Grape Shot, yes. Okay, so they have Grape Shot, yes. Okay, yeah. We'll concede then. I'll say I think my opponent was not playing optimally, but I mean they got the job done. That is what matters. Had I grabbed Needle, I don't think would have mattered. If I grabbed the Vexing Bubble, then maybe the Vexing Bubble would have been something else, but c'est la vie. Alright, we'll be back for match number 2. Alright, we're back for match 2 on the play for game 1. No green sources, but if we draw into a green source, we do have the win on 3. We're running like, what, 13, 14 green sources? Yeah, let's go for it. I've taken riskier hands. Saga trigger pass. And pass. Flooded Strand, pass, fetch, 19, 4. Eats Boros Energy. Ragavan. Well, I'd love to see a soul land or a green source here. Draw. That's neither of those things. We'll pass. And pass. Well, I knew I was playing the odds, and the odds are going to play me. Of course, Rogvan's going to pilfer a green source or a land off top, guaranteed. Ragavan pilfers what? Soul Cauldron. Soul Cauldron's fine. Tis Plains. And Soul Cauldron, sure. Draw. Land? Oh, Jesus. Float. In that case, I think I need to just have a redraw here. Damn. Vaccine Bauble, redraw. Oh, you gotta be joking me. I'm in danger. What do I do? Pitch Soul Cauldron. Oh, I need to pitch 2 cards. I really don't want to pitch a halfling. Pitch an Emrakul, since they're going to be Soul Cauldron anyways, but then on my end step for reasons. Well, I mean, we have 21 lands. We had 20 lands. I think 13 of them were green sources. So, I mean, we had decent odds across multiple draws, but unfortunately, no dice. Thanks, Ragavan. Ragavan pilfers the cards I need. Be fair, I hit the Soul Cauldron before. Would have been fine with that. Guide of Souls. Paying cost 4. There's definitely energy. A Johnny. Nakatl Pariah. Do you have a discharge to flip a Johnny? And at this point, I think I should just concede, to be honest. I don't foresee myself rallying back here. Yeah, especially if they do that. I'm just, yeah, yep. We'll just go to game 2. Alright. Gemstone out. Dismember Whales in. Cut. Vaccine Bauble out. Might out. Which means we can bring in 1 or 2 more cards. Could bring in Graft Digger, but we already have the Soul Cauldron, so the Graft Digger doesn't feel as relevant, I don't think. Could bring in Flute. Flute is semi-relevant. Actually, Thief, I think, might be better. What, cut maybe 1 in Emrakul here. Could also cut halflings. Probably cut halflings before Emrakul. Could bring in Flutes. I think I'm gonna run it back like this, though. Alrighty. Well, let's hope if we do play the odds again, the odds are just a little bit more in our favor, eh? Would be ideal. On the play for game 2. I mean, there's Broodscale, there's Blade. Rumble. We want to go probably... Let's start with Halflane. If Halflane draws a discharge, that's fine. Because then we can Rumble Blade. And basically prime ourselves for the Broodscale. Marsh Flats. Fetch 20. Sacred Foundry, Shock 4. Static Prison. That is A-okay. Does mean we're delayed it. Okay, we're no longer delayed a turn. Rumble. However, I do need a land now. There's Saga, there's Blade, there's Temple. So we can cast Broodscale, we can cast Blade, equip Blade, Ballista triggers. We'll go Saga and pass. Alright, we'll hold in case they discharge or Static Prison the spawn. We need to hold for a couple turns, but we'll see. We can also just go Blade Ballista. Onslaught Pride resolves. Draw. Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, it's potential just going with Ballista, showing no Blade might be right. Let's start with Stirrings, though. I got the Soul Cauldron. Grab a second Brood. Trigger. Fetch. Wear Tear? It is a Wear Tear. Trigger on the stack. In that case, I'll just cast a Blade and pass. I mean, we're primed. We'll take the 1 down to 19. They'll be up to 20, and they'll make a cat. Would like a land. Second main, casting Arid Mesa, fetch 19. Again, 19 all. Sacred Foundry, Shock down to 17. Bombardment. Bombardment is a bit annoying here. Static Prison for the Blade. Yes. Trigger. You sack the cat for the spawn? You do not. Stirrings. Well, let's Stirrings again. I will grab Pithy Needle to name Bombardment. In response, I'll sack. Bombardment is offline, and I'll cast a Blade and pass. And pass. Static Prisons trigger. And if they give me back the halfling, we're in a decent position to win. But they don't. They might give me back the Blade. They might think it's not worth it to use up the energy since I already have one on board. Yep, that's exactly the thought process. Could be they have a Clarion Conqueror, though, which would be an issue, admittedly. Marsh Flats, 2 in hand. Marsh Flats, fetch. Surveil. Keeps it on top and attacks down to 18, up to 18, 18 all. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still not enough for City's Blessing. You cast anything on second main? You do not. Okay. I will draw. 6, 7, 8, 9. Orange Chant? That way I have a pause on my draw step. I feel like you should have done on my upkeep though, if that's the case. Surgical for Saga. Yeah, that's fine. That won't take one type out of yard. I feel like you should have probably grabbed the K command, admittedly. Again, I do need... I don't have a land here, but they know I have 2 broods, is the thing. I'll cast the Broodscale and I'll pass. And pass, so no discharge in hand. Last energy. There's the discharge. They must have had it on top. Okay. Blades will trigger. Again, 6 types in yard. I believe they'll have City's Blessing now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nope, 1 short. And draw. Boseiju. So we can play the Boseiju. They know I have a second brood. I think I will cast Ballista, X equals 1, and equip a blade to Ballista and pass. We're gonna... I guess we don't get back the halfling yet. Unfortunate as it might be. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 short of Emrakul. I think the only type I'm missing right now is enchantment since the saga got surgicaled. Paying cost. Charmaw eats the E-Temp. I don't think Charmaw's a good choice for this matchup, but that's my personal thought. Alright. Yeah, I was about to say you should attack still. No blocks. Onslaught Pride will trigger, make 2 cats, and draw. Soul Cauldron changes things a bit. I will cast Soul Cauldron. I will exile Basking Broodscale. Always yield. So now, from here, I can remove a target and ping down Onslaught Pride. And always yield. And rinse repeat. Alright, and at that point, I'll pass. I'll get the halfling back. We'll take 4 down to 9. Paying cost 4. Or not. Interesting. We'll draw. A second Agatha's. a little bit annoying. Well, I will cast Broodscale, number 2. Or number 2. Yep, that is actually number 2. I'll equip Blade. To Broodscale. Agatha Soul Cauldron will eat the Ocelot Pride. Target Broodscale. Always yes, always yield. I mean, at this point in time, we basically are getting infinite mana and we're growing the Ballista every time as well. Have we forgotten about the Ballista or what, friend? Nope, they're just gonna force me to go through the paces. Alright, that's fine. And I guess while I'm at it, let's just go for Emrakul here. We need what, 8 mana? Is this enough to get you to concede opponent? Go to combat. Swing for 25. Okay, cool. Alright. Solid win there. Bring back the gemstone and cut what? Honestly, I'm tempted to cut a Saga here, just because of the wear tears. It's a thought. Yeah, we'll cut a Saga. Run it back. Not my favorite thing to do, but that can be rather backbreaking. I'm starting to realize something. Has Wrath Disguise fallen off? Kind of curious on that. Cards popular for modern. No, still 2 copies and 40% of decks. The only card that tops that by and large is 3.6 copies of Consigned Memory and 60%. Jesus. Ridiculous is what it is. Alright, we are on the draw for game 3. Yes, I will keep this. Draw a Ballista. Pass. You have a Discharge. Fetch, Marsh Flats. Sacred Foundry, Shock, Discharge. Again, if Halfling's going to be used as a Lightning Rod, I'm okay with that. Be my guest. 1 less removal for a Broodscale. Arena of Glory. 4. A Johnny. A Johnny is a bit of an issue, admittedly. Draw. Dismember. Dismember is perfect. Stirrings. No Blade, unfortunately. There is Broodscale, Emrakul, Soul Cauldron. I do like the idea of Soul Cauldron. I'll grab Soul Cauldron here. Play Karplusin, and do we dismember the Johnny now? I think so. And pass. And pass. Elegant Parlor Surveil. I'd love to see a Soul Land for this K command. Take 2 down to 14. 4 in hand, end step, draw, Emrakul. 3, 4, 5. So I will do what? We'll play the Boseiju, yeah? So my initial thought is to play the Ballista here. I would like to play the Soul Cauldron in advance. Let's play Ballista. And pass. We'll add a type to Yard. And if they do decide to go after it. Paying cost for Wear Tear? Discharge? No, I'm gonna opt for not doing so. Interesting. Tempted to block it here, to be completely honest. I will. List in Yard, 4, 7, 6 short of Emrakul. I guess we could have just held it and then played the Soul Cauldron. Draw. Dismember. I'm going to play the Soul Cauldron here and hold up Dismember. Paying cost for Wear Tear. We'll eat a Johnny. And we'll pass. And we'll draw. Plays a mountain. 3 in hand. And holding. We'll draw. Karplusin. We do have K command online now. So we can K command X2. 4, 8, 10, 11. 2 shorts. We need a Soul Land. Stony Silence is fine. End step. Cast K command X equals 2. And done. Temple K command top, draw. Our turn, comrade. Don't want to fetch that Arid Mesa. Also, you shouldn't have tapped the Arena of Glory. That way you could have exalted it on my turn. So that way I didn't have access to the mana. Or can exalt it on our shared turn. Arid Mesa fetch, surveil. We'll use surveil. Surgical. Yeah, I guess you don't want me having access to that. Static Prison, Wear Tear. So, let's see here. Season Pyro. Thraben Charm. There's so much I want to work with here. So, I mean, I can Static Prison Emrakul, then Wear Tear it. So that is 2 mana. We can Season Pyro. I guess actually we could just Season Pyro, pitch 2, and then Wear Tear the Stony Silence. That actually seems better. So if I go red, haste, and then let's say Did I not pay one for the Arena of Glory? Oh, I see. Arena of Glory. And then red. Haste the Season Pyro. Trigger. Pitch the Prison Charm. That way we can wear Tear the Stony Silence. So, Static Prison Charm. There's Flage, Windswept Teeth. You don't care much about Flage because we can exile it from Yard. So play the Windswept Teeth, fetch. It can actually put you down to 13, but it don't matter because you have Flage. So I think I'll just fail to find here. And then wear Tear the Stony Silence for white. Go to combat. Swing of Pyro. Block with Emrakul and pass. And pass. So now you can cast Flage. He looks me for 3. Go up to 18. We have a K command that can exile the Flage from Yard. Alright. I mean, I think we're in a decent position, all things considered. Flage. Flage targets me. Down to 11. Draw. Karplusan. In that case, I will cast Broodscale. Actually, I kind of want to get rid of 2 cards in Yard, don't I? Yeah, I want to get rid of 2 cards in Yard. Let's just scry draw, exile cards in Yard, scry draw, 1, 2. Done. 1, 1, 2. And done. Ballista, Karplusan, Ballista, top and draw. We'll cast Broodscale. Then swing with Emrakul. And I don't foresee a way out of this situation. Opponent says, oof. Which is reasonable. GG's. And I guess they could fetch. Def thought I might be playing poorly into Emrakul when I held off on the Spyro. Yeah, that was rough, but not too much. You too. Opponent seems nice. Draw, Grove, and opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright, solid win against Energy. We'll be back for match number 3. Alright, we're back for match 3 on the draw for game 1. I'll keep, I'll pass. Flooded Strand, passing, draw, Temple. Play Grove. Stirrings. Does Stirrings resolve? Stirrings resolves. I'll take the K command. And pass. Flooded Strand, fetch. Surveil. Undercity Sewers. Okay. Could be Goryo's, potentially. We'll pass. Marsh Flats. Easy the Froge. With the Froge, we're going to have to hold up the K command. Yep. There's Froge. Now we need to hold the K command in case of a Goryo's. Dark Slick Shores. Froge will attack in for 1. Tamiyo, looking more like Murktide instead here. That's good. Not good, but tolerable, I suppose. And it's unlikely they're tapping out unless I force them to do so, right? I'll cast... Let's start with Halfling. See if that resolves. Paying cost, counterspell. All shields are down. I'll cast the Flesh Raker and pass. Subtlety, Evoke, Pitches Frog. I will put this on top and pass. I had considered maybe needing to cast the Bauble there. Kind of regret not, but next turn we can Flesh Rake into Bauble. Either that or Malevolent Rumble first. Probably just want to Bauble first, to be honest. Frog, pitch, frog. Blue for Murktide. Nope, Riddler. Riddler draw 2. Triggers Tamiyo, flips Tamiyo. Probably should have attacked with Tamiyo first to get a clue. Tamiyo ticks up, so they can bring back the counterspell next turn. You pitch with Frog to draw another 2. Frog plus Riddler is ridiculous. Yep, pitches Kaido. Hits me with 3, draws 2. Yikes. Riddler warp draw. Oh, this is concerning. Let's start with Bauble. See if that warrants a counterspell from you. It does not. We'll play the Flesh Rake and pass. Yep, that will though. Makes sense. Blue, counterspell. And pass. Tamiyo can minus for another counterspell. Blue Delta fetch down to 16. Pitch Frog plays Riddler, draw 2. So shields are down now. Can you make the most of it's the question. Pitch Frog. Pitch Frog. So we'll take 6 down to 10. We can get rid of Frog on our turn. So we're not dead yet. Tick up or tick down on Tamiyo? Tick up, yep. Makes sense, we're not holding anything. Ramp Exile Frog or try and go Rumble? Rumble would be a bit dangerous. Like, we're looking for something at that point, but I think I need to just go Ramp. I guess I could go Scry, draw Exile. Yeah. Frog down. Ballista Beseiju. Ballista bottom, Beseiju top and draw. Play land for turn and pass. I need Blade. I need to just find a way to combo off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're short on Emrakul. Teferi. Teferi. Are we going to bounce the Vexing Bauble? Irresponsible crack it. Pass. Next turn we can exile the Riddler, but the Tamiyo's an issue. 2 in hand. Is Tamiyo minus or plus? It pluses, so they're primed to draw half their deck. Draw. Let's start with Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? There is a Blade of the Blood Chief. I can play Temple. Cast, attempt to resolve Flesh Rake. If I resolve Flesh Rake. Yes. Attempt to resolve Flesh Rake. Does Flesh Rake resolve? Cast Broodscale. Does Broodscale resolve? Trigger Flesh Rake. You have a Spell Snare? Cast Blade of the Blood Chief. Go to equip. Paying cost. Shoot the sheriff. Yield to all. I'm trying to think of whether or not I could have kept up a second green source. I don't think I could have. Alright. We'll pass. Team will draw half their deck now, so there's no way they don't have interaction at that point for our second Brood. Right now they don't have lethal unless they have 2 Bowmasters. 2 Bowmasters is lethal. Play to land for turn, Flint Strand. Which means Fatal Push is online. Teferi Plus. Thoughtseize sees the Brood. Takes the K command. Brutal. Don't even care about the Brood. Or, that works too. Pass in full. Fledged Strand Fetch, Watery Grave, Shock, Fatal Push. 6. And push. Trigger. Huh. So, what's the game plan now? It's likely they have interaction in hand. So, we're gonna end up... No matter what we draw, we should just lose here, I think. We'll draw. Needle. Needle's a bit late to the party, but we'll concede. So, this is Murktide. Lost for game 1. Let's move to game 2. So we're going to want Cavernous Souls. We're going to want to cut Gemstone. Agatha Soul Cauldron's relevant. Dismember's relevant. And all of that's relevant. We're going to keep push so we can cut half lane. No, we don't need might. So we just cut or keep a half lane here. No, probably better to keep either Rumble or Flash. Flash can't be can be countered by Consign, so I'm thinking Rumble instead. Let's run it like this. Alright. Yeah, Modern's in an interesting position right now. A lot of blue decks. Blue definitely seems very dominant in the format. And I think if you're playing blue, the next best color is black, followed by white. So yeah, definitely a very interesting format right now. Alright. On the play for game 2. I mean, there's Blade. I will keep looking for Brood. Otherwise, a Soul Land will do. No Brood, no Soul Land. I'll grab a Forest. And pass. And pass. Island. Tameo. Tameo will die to Dismember, I think. Yeah, that's probably the right play. As much as I do want to Rumble here. Actually, I think we Rumble. I'll play a Forest, cast Rumble. Does Rumble resolve? Rumble resolves, you find a Soul Guide Lantern. Not exactly what I wanted to see, admittedly. We could Dismember Tameo now. Let's do so. And pass. Tameo down. We'll pass. Watery Grave Shock. 19 for Frog. Draw. Soul Land Flute. So in that case, let's start with Grove of the Burn Willows. Cast Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern resolves. We'll eat the Tameo. Flute. Do you pitch cards for Frog? Psychic Frog. Frog is offline. We'll pass. And pass. So Frog can't pitch, Frog can't grow, Frog can't fly, but it can still hit me and draw cards, admittedly. We'll draw. Temple. Let's cast a Blade as bait. Blade resolves. Weird. I'll hold the K command. Flooded Strand fetch. Down to 18. Undercity Sewers. Go to combat. I'm gonna fire this off now. Excuse me. And pass. Really? That's surprising. What do you have in your hand then? Second main, 6 in hand, but no interaction? Unless it's just like a handful of removal. I'll draw. Another K command. Cast Aggie Soul Cauldron. Just try and keep your graveyard clear. And cast Ballista. Okay. We'll pass. Imagine Marsh Flats fetch. Marsh Flats fetch down to 17. Surveil. Hollowed Fountain tapped. Aggie Soul Cauldron, Marsh Flats pass. Make it a bit harder for you to get to Murktide, I suppose. I guess you could also have frogs in hand. Is pest control? It is pest control. So, ping you, trigger blade. Cling. Yeah, that's fine. You'll gain some life. Flex all your yard, and then pass in full. Surveil. One blue up. Could have consign still. Draw. Forest. They've been letting a lot just resolve. I mean, I think we just have to hold the K command. Laggy Soul Cauldron, the pest control. And pass, hold K command. Blue. White. Quantum Riddler. Riddler resolves, you draw a card. Blue to Delta, 4 in hand. Alright. Go to end step, warp. Yeah, we just kind of need to hold now. Draw. I will cast a Vexing Bauble. Does Bauble resolve? Agatha Soul Cauldron, target Fatal Push, and pass. I guess I should have waited until after they fetched the Pluto Delta to surveil. It's on me. No surveil though. Okay. Orcish Bowmaster triggers. Down to 14. Possible that I should have cracked the Vexing Bauble prior to that resolution. Quantum Riddler, draw a card. Still 4 in hand. We have nothing as follow-up, that was the problem right now. So firing off this K command really doesn't do much. Draw. Interesting. Double K command. Alright. Take the 2 down to 10. End step. Ramp Scry draw. X equals 4. This should get countered. There's the counter spell. I have a Soul Cauldron, the counter spell. Draw. There's a Blade of the Blood Chief. I'll cast the blade, see if it sticks. Blade sticks. Alright, hold up the K command again. Might also hold up one more mana for the Vexing Bauble potentially. Paying cost for Quantum Riddler. Yes, you will draw a card. I will take 2 down to 18. I'm going to draw a card of Vexing Bauble. It will ping me for 1 down to 7. Not what I wanted to see. K command, X equals 2. And done. Counterspell or Consign. There's Consign. I have a Soul Cauldron, will eat Consign. And we need to draw into something here. That's not something. That is lethal on board. I will concede. Alrighty. Unfortunately, drawn into nothing means I do nothing. We'll be back for match number 4. Alright, and we're back for match 5 on the play for game 1. Yeah, we can make it work. So we go turn 1 Halfling Saga. Well, actually, I could make this a turn 3, couldn't I? Yeah, we can make this a turn 3. So let's go Saga. Saga Blade, pass. Because then we can go Rumble on 2. And on 3 we can grab a Springleaf Drum. Sacred Foundry. Guide of Souls. Ocelot Pride. Looks like it's energy again. I'm sitting here saying energy is underrepresented, and then I play against energy 3 times this league. Jesus. Saga trigger. Play Boseiju. Rumble. We have a land. There's Halfling as the finisher. We'll grab the Fleshraker. And then we'll pass. Ocelot Pride resolves. I want you to tap out, but you're not going to. Brutal. Take 1. So you have something up, most likely. You can discharge for 5. Draw. Saga trigger. Oh boy. Going for it right now seems unwise. If they tapped out, then we would have been in a good position, but now I'm not so certain. Make a construct. Yield to all. We could go Pithy Needle for Goblin Bombardment. That is tempting. Pithy Needle. Goblin Bombardment. Play a land. We have Soul Guide Lantern. Soul Guide Lantern eats Bloodstained Mire. Construct's a 4/4, so it's not horribly out of place. Surveil. Ooh, interesting. So it's Mardu energy. So likely has push C's in the side if I had to guess. Maybe some push main. And Ragavan dashed. They're tapped out now. Are they gonna really float the Ragavan of all things? Interesting. Alright. We'll take 4, down to 15. They're gonna pilfer. I guess it does allow them to hold up a colored source for discharge, admittedly. Ugh, that was the worst thing they could have hit for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we're very much short of that, but still. Draw. Grove. Let's start with Stirrings. There's K command. We'll grab K command, any order, play Grove, cast Halfling. Equip Blade to the construct, and no attacks. They still haven't discharged. I'm starting to think that they don't have one. Bombardment. Thankfully, I have Needle and Bombardment already, so that's a moot point. There's Ragavan, Trigger Guide. If I draw into a land, can I win? Okay, there's the discharge I was thinking they had this entire freaking time. So they can do 2, trigger, that way they can float. Okay. Yep. 3 cards in hand, we'll take 3 down to 12. They have City's Blessing, so they'll make 2 cats, and they still have a Crypt up. They shock. Well, that's pretty telling. They have something. Yield all for the Guide of Souls. Draw. I mean, I think we just have to go for the K command. Yeah, we'll just hold the K command. We'll hold. No attacks. Go to main. 3 in hand. 4. Pyro. So we could get rid of Guide of Souls with K command. That means that the only card that will be floated is the Pride. Oh, actually, do I even care? As long as I'm not dead, do I care? 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, plus 2, 11. You know what? Go for it. Pyro. Pyro triggers, yield all. Up to 29. So we're gonna float the rag. Float rag. We'll take 7 down to 5. I want to say prior to rag hitting, I'm going to ramp scry draw here. And done. Seriously? In that case, I will bottom, top. I did that wrong. I should have went. Yeah, I should have given the freaking land. Bottom, draw, stirrings. Alright. I did that incorrectly. Damn. Yeah, I should have topped the Ancient Stirring. I should have topped the land, topped the Stirrings, drawn the Stirrings, and Ragavan would have hit the land. Yeah, like I said, I did that incorrectly. What was Ragavan Pilfer? Ragavan Pilfer's Blade. That is fine. Sure, you can equip Blade. Actually, seriously, equip the Blade with the treasure token. Wait, are we actually? No shot. Okay. Yeah, yep, that will be the one. Why would you give me that opportunity? I do not know. Like, even if you don't have it, just hold up a mana. That has been deterring me this entire game. So, I will cast... Just confirming you have no mana up. 0. None. Cast Fleshraker. Cast Brood. Triggers. Yield to all. And opponent skips it up. I mean, I was gonna have to go for it at this point, but like, yeah, just holding up the mana would have made me be a little bit more skittish. Alright, so what do we want to cut here? We want Warping Whale, we want Thief, we want Dismember, we can cut Flesh Rumble, cut Bauble, cut Might, keep Needle Soul Guide. We can cut some number of Saga, but then we're short. So cut an Emrakul. Yeah, that seems seems reasonable. Missing Blade we'll keep. And pass. It is an Ocelot. We draw. Flesh. Pass. Thought you would have liked to have seen a halfling. Ocelot hits down to 19, up to 19. Triggers, draw, temple. I'm gonna play around a Charmaw. We're gonna go Rumble and Thief or Saga. Saga dies to Wear Tear, but it is a path over to Blade. So we could grab Saga. We'll grab Saga and pass 5 types in Yard. I guess it was 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I guess we could have grabbed something else. But we're on track for Emrakul, which is good. Fetch with Bloodstain down to 19. 19 all. Surveil. 5 cards in hand. What do you put it? On top or grave? Grave, Arid Mesa. So they have at least 1 land in hand is what that likely means. Yep. Down to 18. Shock. Or is it a basic? Shock. 16. Flage up to 19. Sephiroth. Was not expecting Sephiroth. I guess that's why they Black Splash, draw a card. Okay. Interesting. I'll take 1 down to 17. Go up to 18, then trigger the Pride. I will always yield. We will draw. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I will play the Saga. Saga trigger, cast, Flesh Rake. I'll pass. And pass. And pass. I guess I should hold on the off chance they discharge the spawn. Bloodstained Mire, fetch 17. 17 all. Yes, a Johnny. So now they can flip a Johnny, though they don't have a red permanent other than a Johnny if they flip. Discharge resolves. Still no red permanent. Sephiroth triggers. I'll lose some life. Sephiroth will sack the Cat Warrior token. So I'm going to lose another 1, 2, 5, 6, down to 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. Trigger. At this point, I'll just pass in full. I'll draw another card. No, wait. Why would you not sack the Cat Warrior token? That seems weird to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Puts counters on the cats. Sure. Draw. Trigger. I will cast Rumble. Or I guess I'll cast, yeah, Crest Rumble, I think with a Saga. Yeah, the Saga. Ballista. Broodscale. So 5 types. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we're still short, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So in that case, I think I'll grab the Broodscale. Not the Broodscale, the Ballista. Play Temple. And cast the ball. And pass. We have blockers here as needed. And Johnny can theoretically plus bombardment. I think bombardment ends things, unfortunately. I'll remove a token, target the cat. Sethroth will trigger. Cat will die. They've already gained life, so... And Johnny, yeah, that's looking like a GG's. Yep, I will concede at this point. Alright. Loss for game 2. I will cut the gemstone. I'll bring back a Saga. And let's run it back. Alright, on the play for game 3. Just missing the Broodscale. We'll keep. And Karplusin, Stirrings. There's Pithy Needle. There's another Temple. There's Boseiju. Needle is tempting. Where do you have Blade? Because Needle Bombardment is pretty good. I will grab the Needle. And pass. And pass. What do you play on 1? You play nothing. In that case, let's start with a Pithy Needle named Goblin Bombardment. Play a Saga trigger and cast a Blade. Pass. Arid Mesa fetch. Surveil down to 19. Surveil trigger or resolve. Keeps it on top and passing. We're still looking for Brood. It's a Johnny. We can exile Johnny to Warping Whale. Draw. Ancient Stirrings. So let's start with Stirrings. There's a Thief. There's a K command. Interesting. There's also Ballista. Ooh. I do want the Ballista. That K command is really tempting, though. I'm gonna go Ballista. Play Temple. Do I want to play this Warping Whale at sorcery speed? I think I will. Yeah, admittedly, I actually did forget about the fact that I could have needled their fetch. Yeah. I think I still would have named Bombardment, but yeah, I did 1000% forget about that now, didn't I? And we'll hold. So Johnny down, Godless Shrine Shock, down to 17. Black for a Thoughtseize. You're not going to like what you see. You'll see Ballista plus Flash, but you probably have interaction for Flash, so you'll take the Ballista. That makes sense to me. We'll take the 2 down to 16. You have 2 in hand. Or rather, 2 up, 5 in hand. We'll draw. There's a second Flash. Pretty convinced they have removal, so I'm going to make a construct. Yeah, it's a 3/3. I'm going to make Soul Guide Lantern for Flage or Springleaf Drum for ramp. I think I need ramp right now. Springleaf Drum, now it's a 4/4, which means it's out of discharge range. I think I'm actually going to... Yeah, I'm just going to equip the blade right now, I think. And pass. If they attack, I'm not blocking. Arena of Glory. Okay. Attack for 2. Down to 14. White, white, red, Flage. So you need Flage Discharge to get rid of Construct, Wrath for 1. Yeah, that's actually really unfortunate. We'll draw. Grove does help stabilize a bit. Flesh number 1, blade number 2, and pass. There's a discharge. We'll make a spawn. 6 types in yard. I guess I should hold in case they discharge the spawn. White. Red. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Too short of Emrakul. Hasting Ragavan. Okay. I'll block the Ragavan. Don't want you pilfering if I can help it. Bombardment. Bombardment is online again. And go to blocks. I will block. Trigger blade. 1 card in hand. We will draw. Okay, well there's Emrakul, but unfortunately it is a bit early to the party. We're currently 3 short. We'll pass. Marsh Flats fetch, 14 surveil. Thoughtseize to yard. Honestly, they'll wish that they have kept that Thoughtseize, I imagine. Pride. I will let the Ragavan hit down to 12. It's not ideal, but I think it's correct. Go over the Burn Willows. And draw. K command's pretty good here. How do we want to proceed? I think we hold. We'll hold the K command. No attacks. Go to attacks. Keeps the Ocelot Pride back. That tells me they don't have removal. I am going to ramp Scrydraw. X2, that will get me 3. And I'll always yield. Always yield. Land halfling, halfling bottom, land top, triggers. And so we have 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I will go to blocks and block of a spawn. Flesh Raker will then grow. Trigger, always yield. And draw. Tis a Dismember. And I guess I should be smart here because it's going to be 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Trigger. And Emrakul. Triggers. Yield to all. And Bone scoops it up. We got there. Whew. All right. Hard fought 3-2, but we did get there at the end of 5. Not bad at all. Do I think this version is better than the lab version? I'm not certain, honestly. I'm not certain that is the case. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give that one more thought. Like, at a glance, it's okay. Agatha Soul Cauldron came up in a few scenarios, but unless we're playing against, like, Gorios, right? Then Agatha Soul Cauldron does feel like it falls a bit flat. Something to think about. Because, like, the main things we have to target in Yard are Ballista and Halfling. That's about it as far as activated abilities are concerned. Like, honestly, it is a way that we can get Broodscale going with Blade. But I'm not entirely certain it is worth it. We'll continue testing it, though, against the lab version, compare contrast, but I think if I had to wager a guess, the lab version will end up proving to be just a wee bit better, especially as it will have that removal from the Devourer available to it, which with Quantum Riddler running around is pretty relevant. That said, I'm not entirely certain that Broodscale is even the right choice for the upcoming RCs. I think that there's a lot of cheap removal running around, and it might be difficult for Broodscale to keep up. Man, I'm starting to think E-Ramp might be the choice. Probably the Ice Till version, not the Karn version, but I'll do some testing on the Karn version. Speaking of, I'll be testing, I think, the Karn version tomorrow to see how that performs. But, with that being said, that there will be the end of tonight's YouTube video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. Be much appreciated. For as much that I hope y'all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. If you did reach this point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button as we continue to grow this channel. However, if you do want to watch these videos recorded live, you can do so over my Twitch. I am live Mondays through Thursdays at 10 p.m. CST and Fridays through Sundays at 8 p.m. CST for the weekend challenges. Otherwise, you can also head over to my Patreon where you can catch these videos live and are early and ad-free. With that being said, though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!